Hi, everybody. Welcome to another Chats with Children. I hope you're safe and well. Today, I'm delighted to join by Lauren Sheppard, who is the project manager for the upcoming Terrapin organized World Vaccine Congress, which is running in Washington, D.C. on April the 1st to the 4th. And we're going to learn more about the World Vaccine Congress and what's going to be happening this year. So, Lauren, first of all, it's lovely to see you. How are you?
Very good, thank you. Very good. How are you?
Worn out if you want to know the truth, but I'm
Yes.
happy to be speaking to you. So that makes the end of my week
Oh,
really lovely. So that's great. Now, World Vaccine Congress, it's a very big event, I know, and a lot of people know, but a lot of people may not know about it. For those people not familiar with World Vaccine Congress, would you mind giving me a quick overview of the event in terms of who it's targeted to, a little bit about its history, and what it covers?
yeah, certainly. So this year is now the 24th year that we're
Right.
running the Vaccine Congress. Very long time since the millennium. So it brings together pharma, biotech, academia, non-profits, government organizations, and the companies who serve them from across the whole of the vaccine industry. So I mean, since its inception, back in 2000, it's grown massively into sort of the leading vaccine congress in the world. This year, we're expecting over 4,000 people.
Wow.
And I would say we've been constantly expanding the agenda. So those who might think it's, just an R&D conference or sort of in the manufacturing space, it's not. It covers the whole of the vaccine life cycle from sort of discovery to proof of concept and implementation and all of those post marketing surveillance and advocacy and everything like that.
Fantastic. Now, obviously, the pandemic was obviously huge and vaccines came to the fore. So, how much of an impact in a positive way did the pandemic have in terms of increasing the profile of the World Vaccine Congress and growing it?
Oh, I mean, yeah, I mean, if you want to say silver lining in a sense of the pandemic, that I guess, yeah, the interest in vaccines has grown hugely, and not just from companies who were traditionally in vaccines. I would say from companies who maybe perhaps were originally focused on things like cancer vaccines, who pivoted into the infectious disease vaccine space. And often these platforms can be tweaked in terms of like plug and play to sort of target whatever disease you want. So I would say, yeah, there is definitely a broader spectrum of companies that participate since the pandemic happened.
Right. Now, obviously, there's lots of trends which go on within the sector. So, putting together the program, what have been some of the trends that you've seen which have helped put together this year's program?
I mean, I would say, how much time have you got? There's so much. I mean, obviously, pandemic preparedness is a huge one. What are the strategies moving forward for future pandemics? Can we get any faster than we already have? Expanding that global manufacturing capacity. What's the progress been made in terms of local manufacturing in places like Africa? Identifying and development of vaccines for priority pathogens, and again, looking at the life cycle from beginning to end and thinking about when those vaccines are going to be implemented earlier in the vaccine life cycle so that you are better prepared and that we are creating vaccines for where they're needed most and are going to have the most impact. Obviously, there's been approvals this year like RSV. So we're looking at the developments in that, and obviously questions around policy and implementation, pneumococcal vaccines. Equity is a huge topic. Not just inclusion in research, but also access and making sure that everyone has equitable access to vaccines. Trust is a huge thing. Advocating for vaccines. Who are people's trusted messengers? Who are people listening to when talking about vaccines? And sort of tying into that the surveillance, creating global surveillance systems for vaccine safety. And the more that we know about what adverse events happen in particular populations, the more that people can feel empowered about making decisions for themselves about vaccines because they know more about which vaccines are great for which people.
Right. Well, thank you. I'm
I
glad.
mean, I could go on for days. So
Well, no, I could tell, but no, that's good. Well, it's good that you know your subject. That's fantastic. Now, talking about this year's events, though, and we touched on a little bit, obviously, in terms of trends you're talking about. But what are the main tracks this year, and who are some of the key speakers?
As I said, we cover the whole vaccine life cycle. So on April the 1st, we have our pre-Congress workshops where we go into some of the more niche topics like biodefense, AMR delivery. The 2nd, we'll cover our big picture plenary keynote topics. And in the 3rd and the 4th, we dive into our co-located conferences that cover immune profiling, clinical trials, bioprocessing, respiratory disease vaccines, emerging diseases, cancer, COVID, veterinary vaccines, vaccine safety, market access, supply and logistics, and partnerships. So enough content to fill your boots.
And in terms of key speakers, I mean, I know you have some keynote speakers there as well for the plenaries and stuff. So who are some of the people that people could look out for and really should be making sure they attend?
Yes, so we've got some amazing people from industry like Alejandra Gutman from Pfizer, Michelle Roberts from Sanofi, Penny Heaton from Janssen. From government, we have people from like Gary Disbrow from BARDA, David Cadlow at the FDA, Karen Bock at NIAID, Isabel Oliver from UKHSA, amazing academics like Peter Hotez, who I'm sure you've heard of, Maria Elena Battazzi, Jim Crow, Alessandro Sette, non-profits like Nikki Lurie from CEPI, Anuradha Gupta from Sabin Vaccine Institute. So yeah, everyone that's involved in the vaccine industry, I think, will be there.
Well, you obviously have talked about the workshop as well. So, and obviously you've got great tracks and great speakers, as you just mentioned. But apart from the talks, what else do you do to engage people and get people involved at the event?
So I guess one of the most exciting things is the VIE Awards, or the Vaccine Industry Excellence Awards. So people have been voting for the last few months in their thousands. And so they've helped us to shortlist this year's nominees. And they're going to be announced at the gala dinner on the 2nd of April. So that's very exciting. I mean, and apart from all the amazing content, there's just so much room for networking and one-to-one meetings, drinks receptions. Our editorial team will also be on site conducting interviews. So lots of buzz going on at all times.
Fantastic. Now, one question we'll ask, I mean, I know most events now are nearly 100% on site now, but in terms of digital content, is any content available either digitally during the event or post-event?
Yeah, so we feel, yeah, as the biggest value comes from attending in person, but yeah, we realize it is a huge agenda. So if people want a little refresher, we do make the presentations available on the app after the event, obviously, as long as the speakers have given us permission. But so anyone that's registered, you'll be able to access those afterwards.
Right. And you also have now a platform, don't you, where people can get information on vaccines throughout the year. So for people not familiar with that, would you mind just giving viewers a very quick overview of what that is?
Yes, so we have our Vaccine Nation blog. And so our wonderful editor, Charlotte Kilpatrick, who I'm sure you know.
I've interviewed a couple of times. She's lovely, yeah.
Conducts our speaker interviews on site, but also throughout the year, you know, she's working on the latest stories behind the scenes to make sure that everyone stays up to date with what's happening and what's coming up in the next Congress.
Fantastic. Now, having heard you, I'm sure everyone's already booked. But just in case there are some people who have not booked or are not convinced still that they should be at World Vaccine Congress in Washington, why should they register if they haven't done so right now?
Yeah, I mean, if you are someone who is looking to learn more about vaccines, if you're someone who needs funding or research partners, if you're someone that wants to learn and get insight from some of the leaders in the vaccine industry on what the latest developments are and what the strategies are going to be moving forward, then yeah, this is the event for you. Sign up.
Fantastic. All right, well, Laura, thank you very much for taking time out to talk to me. I really appreciate it. I know you must be really busy building up to the event, which is only a couple of weeks now. It's quite scary when you look at the date. Time flies so quickly. So, look, well, hopefully I'll be there as well, and I'll get to see you in person as well. But there you go, viewers. If you are involved in vaccines in any shape or form, from beginning to end, then if you haven't signed up, sign up now. The link is above the video. And actually, if you use the code RSK, then you'll actually save 20% on the ticket. So use the code and save some money if you haven't done it. And if you're there, hopefully I'll get to see you in person and get to see Lauren as well. So look, Lauren, lovely to see you. Good luck with the build up. I hope it goes really, really well. And viewers, thank you for watching. Until next time, as always, stay well and stay safe. Bye-bye.
Cheers. Bye bye.